Bushcraft update. It's an update. Seems like a part of my... It's been a weird winter. Truth be told, it's been a weird winter though. Weather was... it was a long stretch in between snow. And just kind of... We'd get some snow maybe, and then it would rain and rain and rain, and it was just super gross. Didn't really get much chance to do anything. And then I went and made a purchase. If you're following my Instagram or Facebook page or anything like that, you've all seen photos of the 1978 Ski Doo Elan that I purchased just before Christmas. I guess that's my segue. I'll tell you a bit about it. The seat was recovered just about 3 years ago, apparently. I was having all sorts of issues. Let me get into it first. This is the 250 twin. So that would have come out at about 16 horsepower, unlike the single, which would have put about 12 horsepower on there. We'll get into that in a minute. I of course, if any of you have watched any, if you're here looking at a Ski Doo Elan video, you've probably seen the Power Mod guy out in Ontario. He has this idea for the skis and extra wide skin, so that's something I did. Living out here in BC, we do have our powder, and at one point, there's a Barrett Honda in Fruitvale that did these slider track, long track extensions on there. So it's supposed to be a better hill climber, or is it just extra weight, the 16 horsepower I don't need? I still don't know that. I was having all sorts of issues, whether it was electronic, the electrics, or the fuel. I think it was a bit of both. Needless to say, the whole thing we went through the whole thing. My buddy Craig Randell at the garage. Ended up being a bad coil, pretty sure. Of course, these things, 1978, they don't have them in stock, so it's like checking eBay. They're coming from Wisconsin, all over the place. So I did buy a brand new carb for it. So this is a Mikuni. Okay, it's hard to find any information about these Mikuni conversions because they would have come stock with a Tilston. Everybody has an opinion on what size of carb to go in there. I was easily able to find, it's all about the flange kit. It doesn't matter so much about the carb as it does the flange kit, because it has to fit between those posts. If it doesn't fit between those posts, then you're just wasting your money. So needless to say, this is the VM28. It's one of their smaller carbs, and it's interesting. It has the manual choke on it, where the old one has a primer. So I still have my primer line, which actually works well in the cold start, because I stick it in there and I just shoot a couple shots. It fires right up. You put the choke on just for... you can hear it, the fuel really getting in there. It kind of fires it up, but there's a balance. You turn it off until you finally feel that your fuel is going where you go, and then you go. You don't fart around. The VM28, lots of, there's not much information about it in terms of putting them onto these Elans here. They're usually bigger. I can tell you that it honestly, maybe because it's brand new, whatever, it's actually working perfectly fine until you're on, like, I've only stopped here because this is like, BC has mountains. You don't really find an Elan video coming out of the mountains because, you know, maybe it's a bit underpowered. But on a long uphill, it almost feels like it's starving, like because it's a smaller bowl. Now I am definitely not a carburetor guy. That's why I just buy new ones. It just works that way. But it hasn't not got me up anywhere I need to go. While it gets kind of bogged down, you find that little sweet spot where you know that it's going to keep getting fuel and you'll still get up there. I've had to, you know, scooter up one or two, I'll admit. But it took me a while to get this whole thing running the way it's running now. No small feat. It's a proud accomplishment, and I'm happy that what it does is I actually have like this big heavy trailer, and then the kids on the GT snow racer, and then Tanner being towed on the Hawk, so we're riding on the thing, on the trailer, toboggan, whatever. Yeah, it's a train. I hauled a train all the way up to like Give Out Creek Cabin, which is 1,730 meters. It was a pretty big elevation gain, and it really wasn't. It took you, you know, it isn't an 800. You're not going to go, wah, 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 and you'll be up there and showing it off to all the other fancy folk in their skidoos, but, or sleds. We all just called them skidoos growing up, you know. Didn't matter who made it. Or maybe they were picky. I was just a kid and I just called them all skidoos. I don't even know. Needless to say, this is the coolest skidoo sled I've ever had. Maybe we'll see if I can shoot a couple little videos rather than me just droning on about it. Oh, it's been quite a day. I went up until I couldn't go up any further. There was like a drainage that was going alongside. I can tell where the road is and whatnot. So there was some drainage. And I dropped right down into it. So that's about as stuck as I've ever been. Here's a photo of it. Yeah, and so once I got out of there, I was like, that's enough of that. You know, this whole intermittent fasting thing I've been doing for so long. I still haven't even eaten yet. I drank all my tea, drank some water. I have a carrot, an apple. Maybe I'll have an apple. But needless to say, there was a couple there. They were on there. It was a beautiful Scandic. Loaded like chainsaw and snowboards, and thankful to them because they're like bucking trees off the trail the whole way up. They just want to go snowboarding so bad. And so I caught up with them, and he couldn't get his saw going. So they just helped me lift the Ski Doo up over the over the log. Can't do that with one of those Scandics. Yeah, so I like the downhill. The uphill, I'll admit, I really got to stick to trail. But on the way down, I'm just like, because I'm just like, yeah. So, oh yeah, the Bushcraft update. I'm still doing it, I'm just not filming it. Not that it isn't in my heart, because it sure is. I'll get something out. Hey, busted my chops over here. The winter was a bit weird. It's looking like winter now. So that's what I need. And I need you to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And stay tuned. There'll be more. You know, I'm no Aussie Man reviews. I'm not putting 3 a week out, that's for sure. But yeah, hope to see you all again in the next video. Look at this. Honest to God, this is my season pass.